Welcome, everybody, to the Adventure Time Podcast.
The Adventure Time Podcast. There's no other podcast. This is the only one. So even if you don't like it, you don't have a choice in the matter.
This
Here you
is
go.
actually the only Adventure Time podcast.
Yep. And
we've done it.
Yeah, we've come up with the idea ourselves. No one else has ever had an Adventure Time podcast, which is great, which means this content will be fully original.
Yes.
So, on this only inaugural episode of the only Adventure Time podcast that has ever existed, we're going to be talking about the latest episodes.
Yes, the latest episode batch.
Yes, the batch, which is all just one big episode.
because they release them in batches now.
Yep.
Because that's how you release an episode. That's how you release a series.
Yeah, that's just like every other series that's out there. Steven Universe. Yeah, every other show, just like Steven Universe. Similar to how we're the only Adventure Time podcast to ever exist, Steven Universe is the only cartoon to ever exist. So, it's just following in that footsteps right there,
Indeed. So we have not exactly a fresh batch of Adventure Time episodes to look at, because this came out in July, so they're a bit stale.
Yeah, honestly, they're right about to expire because the new episodes are going to come out pretty soon. So,
And also, the entire show is about to expire.
Yeah,
maybe this is a weird time to start this podcast, but it's the only podcast.
Yeah, we're basically obligated to do this podcast because we're the only one.
We're the only one.
So, we're just going to start at episode 1 of the batch.
Episode 1 of the batch, Abstract.
Abstract, oh my gosh, Abstract. Abstract indeed. It has some abstract visual metaphor in this one.
I love Jake.
Yeah,
Jake is my friend. He's my bro.
He's my friend.
He's my real brother.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't mind that. My real brother will be Jermaine then.
Exactly.
Because Jermaine is really MVP in this.
Jermaine is so good in this episode. Yeah.
Really got some great character development off screen. Really found himself artistically.
Yeah, and that's what this episode is all about.
It's about finding yourself.
Who's
the real you?
Who's the real you?
Man, so it starts out, Jake is just like basically getting hounded about being too ugly now.
Being too ugly.
Man, Finn being really not supportive of his new ugliness. Which is fair enough because he is hideous.
Yeah. But it's not really about Finn.
Right, of course.
It's about Jake.
It's about Jake.
Because he is also not totally cool with his new form.
Blueness.
His new blue form is what it starts out I think maybe it's going to be about Finn sort of getting used to him and other people getting used to the new Jake. But really, it's about Jake getting used to he's sort of not accepting that things are different, things have changed on the outside and on the inside.
Yeah, exactly. He's basically in denial for most of the episode. Just I can't believe I'm just same old Jake.
Same old Jake.
And then he pretty much gets a reality check from his brother Jermaine, which is great. Yeah. He passes beyond the wall of water. Which is amazing because the wall of water is my new favorite character.
Yeah. What was that?
I don't know. It was
just the most random.
That's just how you get into Jermaine's studio. You have to pass by
the wall of water.
And also Bryce.
Just beats the crap out of him.
Beats up Bryce, which is great.
And Bryce wasn't even doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, no, he was standing in his way. He's like, no, you can't go up there. And he was being a horrible person, so good.
Yeah, well, he wasn't forcing Jermaine to paint abstract, I guess.
But he was not letting Jake visit, which is a huge crime.
Yeah, which is a huge crime. So yeah, Bryce, you got what you deserved.
Yeah, come on. Let's be honest here, Bryce. So, in the time since we last saw him, Jermaine has taken up abstract painting art as opposed to his usual landscapes, which horrifies Jake. Of course, he's horrified that he would paint something non-representational.
Yes, the most horrifying thing of all.
Yeah.
But Jake, he does go through a change. He changes back to his old self.
Nice.
Sort of in his physical way.
Right.
But he's different yet the same.
He knows the shape of his soul.
He knows the shape of his soul. I love that speech. It's just a really good speech.
Just a really nice, It's not like a huge, world, like world revealing revelation. It's just him coming to a realization about himself. He just needs need to calm down, learn the shape of his soul,
Learn the shape
and
of his soul.
fine. And he is fine.
He is fine. Jake is fine.
And you'll notice, and one thing I noticed when I rewatched it was he doesn't even notice that he changes back until he gets home. He's like not even concerned anymore. He's totally he's totally okay with it either way now.
Yeah.
Which was a nice touch, I think. He's like, oh, I just turned back.
Yep.
What do you know?
It's all good. So I did notice like a comment that was like sort of interesting and also kind of right.
Yeah.
But it was like these episodes are the reason Adventure Time is ending, because they're sort of like not very kid friendly, I guess.
Yeah.
they're very abstract. They're very
I don't see the average Cartoon Network viewer who's,
understanding the depth.
Understanding
of this
the real
episode.
The real nitty-gritty of like an episode about like a middle-aged guy.
About identity, yeah.
Yeah, about like a 35-year-old guy. Like
Kinda, yeah.
Sort of like having like, a very weird midlife crisis and like coming to terms with it.
So, but of course, I don't want it to change.
Right, of course.
This is what Adventure Time is, and that's what makes it great.
That's what it's evolved
Even
into.
if what makes it die, it's also what makes it great.
Yeah,
so.
it'll go out in a burning flame of glory, and that it sets itself.
Sets itself on fire. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yep. So wouldn't have it any other way. In conclusion, pretty great episode.
Pretty great episode.
I was in favor of it.
Yes. And also, of course, there's the other backlash to the episode, real quick.
Oh, yeah.
He got turned back in one episode, guys.
Yeah, so, like, after, like, it was kind of treated like a big reveal in the last episode, Elements. It turns out that, like, whatever demon is inside Jake, which is kind of,
Whatever demon is sort of Jake's parent.
Yeah, exactly. Because, as we all know, Jake came out of his dad's head when he was bitten by, like, some weird thing. Which is,
trans-dimensional shapeshifter.
Yeah, trans-dimensional shapeshifter. Which is interesting because I don't think... Has it ever been revealed up to this point, like, that Jake's powers come from, like, some kind of demon inside of him? As opposed to just, like...
I think it's just his heritage. It's, like...
Right.
It's genetics.
But he clearly has, like, some sort of presence of like the being still around.
I guess, yeah.
Like it's not just like he is like genetically a shapeshifter now. He's got like something inside of him.
It sort of shows up in his dreams. I'm not sure if that means there's like, I don't know. That is interesting. Is there like part of is like the shapeshifter sort of like more? That's why I think we're actually going to get a little bit more on this later down the line.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think that
if the show doesn't end before it does that. I think like the shapeshifter is going to be sort of a story point.
Yeah. Hopefully the shapeshifter comes back. He's cool. I like the character design of the shapeshifter.
Yeah, he looks pretty cool, yeah.
He's like a weird mouthy thing, which is nice. But yeah, it's stupid. It's like, it wasn't even that big of a deal.
Yeah,
and it's like and it was such a nice way to turn him back, so it's like, why not? Like, would you have been happier if it was just like, this episode was like the last episode, and like all the episodes in between, he was just completely the same, except he was blue?
Yeah,
It's like, it doesn't, like Jake said, the whole point is that it doesn't matter.
Yeah. He's the same old Jake.
He's the same old Jake, so it's like, what does it matter if he's blue or if he's yellow? This is probably just easier on the animators.
I guess. And it's, people wanted like a big, long sort of story, I guess. They wanted like an arc, I don't know.
Yeah, like him to like go on a
multi-episode like quest for him to go on to like return to his... But I like this better.
Yeah.
Like, if he had, like, gone, like, to, like, find some magic thing that, like, turned him back to normal.
That'd be stupid.
That wouldn't have been as good as him just sort of discovering for himself.
Yeah. Exactly.
That wouldn't have been as interesting. That would have been just... I wouldn't have liked that at all.
That would have been really lame. He's just like, oh, you gotta go to the cliffs of... Who gives? Like, who cares? Like...
Nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody cares. Like, they've already done that a million times. They've already, like, heard about something they need to get and then gone on a quest to get it. Like, that happens, like, every single, like, episode. That's, like, every single episode.
I'm trying to think of an episode where they do that now.
Well, I remember the one I'm thinking of That's like when they go to a mountain to get something is when they're with normal man.
Oh yeah.
They gotta like climb a mountain to get to the tiny manicore.
That was a great episode, but we're not talking about that.
We're not
episode.
talking about. All right, moving on.
Next moving back. Next episode, Ketchup. Ketchup was another beautiful.
Yeah,
I love this episode too.
This was a great one. It had a lot of cool like guest animators.
Yeah. Fun fact. Do you remember Beyond the Grotto?
Beyond the Grotto. Which one was that?
It was the one where they like sort of went into their pond after the sea lard, and they went to like the other world, which is like.
I do remember.
So they got the same people who did that episode back to do the 3 animations for this episode.
Cool.
And like that episode, they were gorgeous. It looks
great. It looks awesome. I like all the different art styles.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It's just BMO's story was insane.
BMO's story was just like. It reveals a lot of interesting things about BMO that she remembers it this way. Because like we see her, because we actually see her like scroll over, like open a file for like boat trip.
Yeah,
and it's like this is how she remembers
this
it.
This is what it is.
She it's pretty cool.
BMO is such a great character.
Yeah,
we need more BMO.
BMO's pretty great
before the show ends.
You know, what was it? What I noticed was when she first, like, the framing to get her to Marceline's place is, like, she's gonna come, like, kill all the vampires.
Yeah, she's like...
It's like...
Sorry, BMO. We already killed all the vampires.
It's just me now.
Oh. Then he, like, runs up, gives Marceline a hug, and, like, turns around and starts to head home. It's like, oh, BMO.
Oh, BMO.
You're so the best.
Yeah.
BMO comes to Marceline's house. Marceline wants BMO to, like, decode a flash drive that she found in her attic or something.
Yeah, no, it's not really. I guess it was just in her attic. Yeah, but anyway, it's, you know, something from her past, which is, you know, a very hot topic.
Yep, everybody loves Marceline's past.
Everybody loves Marceline's past. So, but it's mostly about revealing, like, Marceline's perspective on what happened during Elements.
Yeah, that was
because she was at a commission for most of Elements.
Puppet show.
Yeah, through a puppet show, which is why, you know, BMO's story takes, like, you know, 15 seconds. And Marceline's stories take up the rest of the episode. Ah, yeah. Which is nice. So it basically tells us that Rockstar Girl.
Yeah, Rockstar Girl.
Rockstar Girl
goes to fight the Blue Tranche.
She goes to fight the Blue Tranche.
In order to help Lollipop Girl.
Yep.
And I swear I was watching an episode of Steven Universe when that animation started.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of Steven Universe.
Yeah, it was nice.
Like she gets like the star eyes for a second.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh yeah, she does.
I'm gonna go
star eyes. She promised that she was gonna go rescue the Candy Girl.
Yeah, Lollipop Girl.
Lollipop Girl, right? And it's just like that's PB, right? It's like
yeah.
It's like yeah, and it's just keep going. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's like if that's how you want to interpret it.
If that's how you want to interpret it.
Yep.
And then like she sort of ends it. It's like
she's like and then she died. The end. But
it was just such
it was a fun episode.
Yeah.
Like
the animation was amazing. I love the animation.
Yeah, it just looks great. Like it's just
looks
like
great.
Everything's got like the very simplified.
Yeah.
Like like just basically a minimalist sort of like only basic shapes sort of style, which is very nice.
Yeah.
It's got like these just like cool other forms of like 3 characters that we've already known.
Yeah.
Especially the Blue Tranche just being like a big old square.
Yeah.
It is about how like the guilt that Marceline feels about what happened during Elements, how she wasn't able to, you know, save PB from turning into a giant
potato,
turning into a potato stack.
Yes, that was the emotional arc she went through.
It's like, how tall was the stack? 6 giants. That was even bigger than when PB got tall.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of, and Marceline, afterwards, the story, Marceline sort of talks about, oh man, I've had some stuff I haven't really been able to talk about with anyone. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, Marceline kind of like lives all alone.
She does. She just lives in a cave somewhere.
A cave. And that's kind of like, I don't know.
Everyone else has somebody.
Yeah, I feel kind of sorry for Marceline living all alone. It's like, it's a good thing she's got BMO to come visit her all the time.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Would you know? It's nice to have somebody visit her. Yeah. And BMO comes around to slay vampires with her.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally, BMO finishes the flash drive.
Right.
And we get like pictures from Marceline's past.
Yeah. This
with Marceline's mother.
You get a nice Marceline's mother helpfully provided a PowerPoint presentation about her childhood.
Yep.
And then BMO tells a story about it.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Kind of.
You cried.
Well, I didn't cry, but it made me a little emotional. The little story.
I mean,
BMO
it's a
told.
nice little story.
And it was such a nice
beautiful
story.
Little story
And
about the moon lady.
About the moon lady and the little girl.
She can only come out during eclipses.
Yeah.
But exactly. Here's the thing about eclipses is that they're cyclical. So he's gonna come back sometime.
That's a
Marceline's
good. I didn't
mom.
even think of that. Maybe.
Yeah, you didn't think of that?
Maybe Marceline's mom is gonna come back.
Because it wasn't like the moon lady died or something. It was like moon lady can only come out during eclipses.
I wonder if that's foreshadowing.
I think that's foreshadowing that
moon
lady.
That is
air quotes moon lady, aka Marceline's mom, is gonna be coming back. Hopefully she gets another song because that was the coolest song.
Ah, yeah. Well, I don't think Rebecca Sugar's working on the show anymore.
Well, yeah.
But I keep saying this. I love Rebecca Sugar.
Yeah.
But she's not the only songwriter in the universe, guys.
Sure. Yeah, you don't have to depend on her.
Yeah. Like we've had a severe lack of Adventure Time songs.
Some good old songs.
Since she left
songs
the project.
are part of the lifeblood of the series.
I love the songs.
They're
so
a little
good.
bit of a core part there.
Like the Pendleton Ward songs were good.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't work on the show either.
Well, I know. I think he's still credited as an executive producer or something.
Yeah, sure. Whatever that means.
Finn and Jake are out to find a new home. I love those songs. They're just the most. They're simple and they're great.
Like, how many people have commented that they fell in love with the show with the one song where it was just when they're trying to open up the door.
That's such a good episode.
It's what am I to you? That
exactly.
song. Everybody is man, that's my favorite song. That's when I really started.
That's everybody's favorite episode.
Yeah, that's a great episode. Everyone likes it, and there's a big part of that is all the songs they're singing.
Exactly, and now there's just they're not gone.
Right. Yeah.
But there's a severe lack. of them.
They're few and far between, or at least they feel like it.
I feel like we had one in each of the miniseries.
Yeah,
sort
that's
of,
true.
And not a whole lot in between.
There were a couple songs in Islands, but those weren't even.
They were very, and all the song. The problem with the songs is they're very, very short and simple.
Yeah.
And they're not bad. They're just sort of I want more.
More of the same.
This is it's giving me a taste of what I need.
Right. All right.
So yeah. More songs.
Anyway,
That's what
more songs. A complete tangent about more songs. We're back to Moon Lady. We're back to Ketchup.
Get to Ketchup. And that's pretty much it for Ketchup.
That's pretty much Ketchup.
Like I said, it almost made me kind of emotional.
Made me cry every time.
I need to stop doing that.
Yeah. It made me cry every time. And, pretty great
made
episode.
me cry every time. That's an upgrade.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty great. Pretty weird. I like the weird combination of BMO and Marceline. It's not something you see every day.
BMO.
I hope they get more weird combinations like that.
Yeah. Before the show dies.
Before the show inevitably ends at the end of season 10. Yeah.
For the good of humanity.
All right. Moving on.
Moving on. Stop talking about depressing things.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on to Fionna and Cake and Fiona.
Yeah, this one's interesting. I think it probably is my least favorite of the batch.
And probably of the Fionna and Cake episodes.
Oh yeah, of the Fionna and Cake episodes.
Because there wasn't a whole lot of Fionna and Cake in this Fionna and Cake episode.
The whole appeal of the Fionna and Cake episodes is basically just a little bit of a little fantasy side story.
Yeah, and
literally diegetically made up by the characters.
Yeah.
But now it's revealed that Fionna and Cake is a TV show from a long time ago.
I didn't really care about that much. That was sort of just okay.
And it's beamed into Ice King's head every night.
I did like that joke. The idea that this is
actually
literally beamed into his brain at night.
Because he says that at the beginning. He's like, it's beamed into my brain every night, just like everybody else. And you assume, oh, okay, haha, he has dreams. No, it's actually some kind of I guess some satellite that's broadcasting the TV show is shooting its waves into his head for somehow.
It's so weird.
Yeah. So it introduces this new character of Fionna,
quote unquote Fionna,
who at the end turns out to be not
just
a real
a bunny
Fionna,
person,
just a weird bunny person. Her ears are very funny. I like those.
She liked ears.
Yep. So Yeah, not a lot of this episode like made a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, not a lot. Like she's sort of like showing him the videotape.
Yeah.
Of the Fionna and Cake adventure,
which is like,
and it isn't a very interesting adventure. The thing I like about the Fionna and Cake is when they like show off the characters.
Yeah.
Like they showed off Prince Bubblegum. They showed off Marshall Lee.
Yeah, exactly.
They showed off Lumpy Space Prince in one of them.
Lumpy Space. I like how Lumpy Space Prince is just Lumpy. It's just LSP with like a little bit of like a little bit of stash going on there.
And before like the episode that was like about Lumpy Space Prince, he just sounded exactly the same as Lumpy Space Prince.
It was just the same.
It was just the same.
Which was amazing.
That was glorious.
Which is great.
And then in the one before the Fionna and Cake episode before this one, it was just like about a whole bunch of different characters.
Yeah.
So the fun thing about the Fionna and Cake episodes is like looking at all the gender bent characters.
Yeah, it's funny.
Like
it's like OC original characters but good.
That's the yeah. That's the appeal of these things. And we got sort of the Queen.
We got Queen of Town who was which made no sense because it's like. It just raises so many questions. Why was Queen of Town in a coffin?
I don't think those are questions.
Why was she dressed up in a? But why was she dressed up in a mummy? Why was she dressed up as a mummy?
Yeah, this was like an elaborate scheme by the Queen. If we just look at that videotape,
why is she tiny? Like King of Ooh is like the normal sized dude, but Queen of Ooh is that. Like a mouse.
I don't know.
She's
why.
like Meow.
It's like okay.
Like why? I mean, okay. I guess it's so we don't recognize her.
So if we would have suspected the mummy was
Queen of Ill.
Was Queen of Ill.
If it weren't for the size. Whatever. And so it was kind of like the adventure was just kind of weird. Didn't make any sense.
I did like the bizarre sort of like moral lesson. It's like don't let strangers into your house. And like the king, and like the Ice King is like, I let a stranger into my house.
It's like, yeah, you didn't learn the lesson. You didn't get the moral.
So that was funny, but like the whole thing was sort of this bizarre story.
I don't know. It's just sort of like, it's just sort of like Ice King making a fool of himself, kind of, and then like, and then like fake Fionna just being like. Okay, whatever.
And then fake Fionna sort of like runs off, like, "Oh no, I'm a terrible person,"
no.
And that's like not really resolved, and I don't think it's ever going to be resolved.
Yeah, she just runs away, and it's like, are we ever gonna see this character again?
Probably not.
Probably not. She's just gone now, because she did the terrible, terrible thing of, I guess,
trying to find more Cake and Fionna. I guess that's her goal.
Because I mean, at the end, like up until then, it's sort of like she's like the normal one, and then like. Ice King is like being crazy at her and she's just kind of weirded out by it. But by the end it's sort of revealed that they're both kind of on the same wavelength of crazy. Like she's like, I can't believe I let down Fionna like that by lying. And it's like, I mean, okay. But right. I mean, you just recognize that she isn't real. So...
Well, she's very inspired. She was very inspired by the...
It is like a hero of hers, I guess.
So if it's a TV show, is it a cartoon or is it live? I guess it's live action.
I guess it's live action.
It's a live action TV show. About Cake and Fionna. Yeah, so I guess my problem is there wasn't enough Cake and Fionna in the Cake and Fionna episode.
Yeah, it was just fake Fionna, which...
Yeah, there was too much fake Fionna.
She's just kind of a downer.
Just kind of a downer.
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't hate the episode, but it was just sort of like, I would have liked more Fionna and Cake in the episode. More interesting characters.
Yeah, I mean, something about this episode, it's just like I didn't really get anything out of it. Like I'd probably give it like, I don't know, like a 5. Because it's just like, nothing annoyed me about it, but it's also like it didn't really add much new, except that it did have the very small addition of Fionna and Cake are a TV show from a long time ago that there's a tape of,
which is like really bizarre weird. Now because like now like it just so it's just a Finn and Jake are like just a coincidence now?
Yeah, it's like what exactly?
Well, I don't think you're supposed to think too hard about that.
I don't know. Maybe it's possible that these are like getting beamed in from like an alternate dimension or something. Sure. Like this is Adventure Time from a different dimension.
Fine.
Like that's where like the beaming is coming from when it hits Ice King's head. It's like from some like, you know, alternate reality, I guess. But whatever. They're probably never gonna address it.
Yeah, I don't think this is like one long.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be.
I don't think this was a huge revelatory episode.
Yeah, I don't know, but it like revealed really important stuff like it was. So whatever. Yeah. And it was just also just kind of like the comedy. I think was just like more awkward comedy as opposed to like slapstick or dry humor, which is which is it can be fun.
Before we move on, I will point out one thing that I noticed only because I watched it 3 times like in preparation for this, is that when Ice King is like telling his story at the beginning and like in front of all the people at the library, which I don't know how he organized this to happen, but like they all clap and Finn has like a tin clapping noise because of his arm.
Nice.
And I noticed that, and it's like,
got that realistic clapping, finally.
Alright, moving on.
Right, next episode.
Oh shoot, what was it called?
Cut this part out.
Whispers!
Whisper. Alright. So moving on. Next episode is...
We didn't cut anything out. It's Whispers.
It's Whispers. Whispers. Finally we're getting some update on Sweet Pea and the Lich.
Sweet Pea and the Lich. Ah, Sweet Pea. So precious.
So precious. Such a big fat baby boy.
Precious Sweet Pea.
Truly someone we can all rely on.
Yes.
But
Sweet Pea saved the day.
Sweet Pea really stepped up to the plate this episode. He really came through. Which in a way that he really hasn't ever before. He was pretty cool in this episode. So he's getting dogged by nightmares.
Yeah, and he like runs into the forest.
Into Fern and Finn.
Calm down.
So we got we got to get him librarian style, and we've got like the double storylines going on like in tandem right now. We've got Fern being slowly more and more discontented with his place in the dynamic
as the second fiddle Finn.
Who messes everything up. Because he does.
Yeah.
And we've also got the Lich and Babe Man.
Yeah, and also the Lich and Finn have their sort of moment together.
Yeah, they do.
Good versus evil.
The
true battle.
And evil definitively wins. Finn, without Sweet Pea there, Finn would have gotten knocked off and died.
I guess Finn was probably very lucky that Sweet Pea came to save him,
Yeah, and, it's kind of becoming a problem for Finn that he just sort of runs in.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, oh, man, Jake's missing a Lich fight.
Yeah.
It's like,
missing a Lich
probably
fight.
should have waited for Jake.
Yeah, it's like, you probably should have like tried a little bit harder, because every time you've like gone face to face with the Lich, you've lost.
Sort of, yeah.
Like the only times you've won is with like the Sweet Pea thing, and that was like complete accident. Or
he comes out on top, but
the help of Prismo.
But it's not because like. Finn's amazing skills like pull him through ever.
You could argue that his like amazing social skills of like helping Sweet Pea like that sort of saved him, because maybe if he hadn't given Sweet Pea all those nice talks, Sweet Pea would have had to.
Sweet Pea would have turned. Would have turned evil and gone to the Lich's side for real.
Or
anyway,
just been mind controlled or something.
I was gonna say, let's recap the episode, but let's not recap the episode, because if you're watching this, you've seen the episode. We're not gonna go through scene by scene. We're just gonna talk about the good stuff.
The good stuff.
And the good stuff was the interactions between Fern and Finn.
Yep, that was pretty.
And that was like Fern like getting tenser about it.
Yep.
And Finn sort of oblivious to it.
Yeah. It's the lead into the next episode.
It's the huge lead into the next episode.
This whole, you could basically consider them like a two-parter almost.
Yeah, almost. Because a quarter of this episode was like devoted to that.
Yeah.
And so before we get into that, because we'll talk about that in the next episode.
Right. Yeah.
I want to talk about like the Lich and how cool the Lich is.
The Lich, who is so evil that just his hand is evil enough to like.
Yeah.
Whisper like Sauron style into like the dreams of, Sauron needed a giant eye. He's just got one hand. He's doing it one hand.
The hand of the Lich, yeah.
The hand of the Lich.
Imagine what the eye of the Lich could do.
Oh man, watch out.
The Lich is it's such a good villain. I love the Lich.
Yeah.
People like even Finn like sort of brought up like one of the main criticisms of the Lich in the episode.
He's like, what's your deal?
Yeah, you're basic, man. You're just... What did he say? I can't remember exactly.
It's like, you're basic, man. I don't know. You're just evil. Something like that.
You're just boring evil, basically. And that's what a lot of people say about the Lich. They'll say, like, oh, he's just sort of evil for the sake of evil. It's not very interesting.
Which, I mean, he is.
He is, but he is interesting.
But he's so enthusiastic about it.
He's like, so determined.
He's like, I'm gonna destroy everything.
Yeah, I think
it's gonna
we
be
talked
awesome.
about this. It's like, it's not even he wants to kill people. He needs to kill all the things. He's almost like
a robot.
Yeah, he's like a machine.
He has like an objective, and like as we saw when he was trapped in Prismo's room, if he can't complete that objective, if it's like impossible for him to complete the objective, he just goes into shutdown mode.
Yeah, it's like if he can't kill everyone, he might as well just. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it's like he's aware that killing, like, while he could kill all these people easily.
It's like it doesn't.
It's so, you know, he's after, like, you know, genocide.
Yeah, he can't
be bothered with these small fries.
Sure, I could just kill but he doesn't have a desire to kill just a bunch of people in a room.
Yeah,
he wants to kill everything that has ever been.
Which it turns out to be a smart move, because I mean, if he had killed everyone, he would just be trapped in that room forever.
I guess so.
Because I mean, you know, they're the ones who bring.
Well, yeah, he's just
Prismo in. They're the one who bring Prismo the Man in.
We can't talk about that.
Whatever.
We gotta. I want to talk about that episode, but we can't.
Right then.
Moving on. No, wait, not yet. Are we still talking about Whispers?
Yeah, we're still talking about... So, Whispers, I like the way Sweet Pea held that sword. Like, it was like, whoop, bam!
Just like poke, the Lich hand.
Which was fun. But yeah, you know, Sweet Pea defeats the Lich.
Do you think Sweet Pea is going to become the Lich again?
I don't... I think there's going to be... So I think there might be, like, one more time where it seems like he's going to become the Lich. Like, maybe he, like, becomes the Lich temporarily and, like, they save him. I don't think they're going to, like, go dark enough to, like, kill Sweet Pea so the Lich can come back.
I just thought of that. That would be so bad if Sweet Pea died and the Lich... Oh, no!
Like, if the Lich, like, fully possesses him again.
That would be horrible.
I think there's going to be a threat of that happening. I don't think it's actually going to happen because that'd be really dark.
That would be so dark. Oh,
if all of Sweet Pea's skin melts off and he becomes the Lich again.
He doesn't deserve that. He's Sweet Pea. He's sweet.
He's supposed to be
so
sweet. And he's like, you say I'm mean, but I'm the one that I'm not. Yeah, exactly. He's like trying to tell him that he's mean. He's not mean.
Sweet Pea's not mean. Sweet Pea's adorable.
Yep. And that's pretty much all that happened in this episode.
Yep. With Fern's mounting resentment towards Finn.
Yep, and that resentment coming to a head in 3 buckets.
Which I'm still not sure why it's called.
So, so I'm guessing, I still don't know for sure, but like the title card has like the three cup game with like a ring under one of them. So it's like somebody's gonna like shuffle around the rings under the 3 buckets.
Yeah, but I'm still not sure what that has to do with the episode.
I think I'm missing the metaphor and how that applies to the episode. Like,
I'm sure it's... I mean,
I
think there were 3 buckets in the episode, maybe?
So...
I remember 2.
So, I remember...
At least.
Where was the second... Wait, where... So there was one in the room.
There was one in the room that Finn gets trapped in. At the very end, with the mysterious figure picking up the pieces of fur, he's putting them into a bucket.
That's right.
So I think there might have been one closer to the beginning as well.
Maybe
and that
there was
would be
3
the first bucket, and that... So...
Oh, there was a bucket. He was going to clean out the chicken coop.
That's what I was thinking of. Like, was he about to do something with the bucket?
Yeah, he was going to clean
So
out
those
the
are the 3 buckets. I'm not sure why the episode is called 3 buckets.
I'm sure there, maybe there's some sort of like metaphorical resonance to the 3 buckets.
Maybe we have to dive deep into this one.
Yeah. So, not gonna say it's dumb quite yet.
I mean,
we'll see what they got.
I have no idea why it's called 3 buckets.
It's just too high level
need
for
to watch
us.
the episode if you want. It's too high level.
Clearly, Adventure Time has gone too deep for us.
Not yet. We'll get there.
We'll get there. But yeah, so this is about Fern getting violent.
Fern goes to the dark side.
Fern finally.
It's pretty sad because
it is pretty sad.
It's like it's more sad than it is like anything else, just because it's like Fern is Finn.
Yeah, exactly. he's like literally him from like an alternate timeline or something.
Basically, yeah.
Except also encased in grass.
Yeah. So I guess he's sort of like a slightly more violent Finn, I guess. But at the same time, he's also just Finn, but sort of being forced to play second fiddle to Finn.
He's like Finn, except he messes up like all the time. Like I mean, he keeps on like Finn will assure him like, no, you just gotta be yourself and do this and do that. But Fern messes up all the time. Like he's completely useless.
He doesn't have a lot of self-confidence.
He's either messing up. Yeah, he's either messing up or he's like threatening to murder people. Yeah. Like in the last episode, he's like, "What should we do? How about I slice his tendons?"
Like, let's try it. Librarian.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, Like he's just sort of Finn with like the violent tendencies and the basic competence inversely like going up and down.
Sure, I guess.
Like the worst of like Finn's violent tendencies.
Yeah, but
yeah, I don't know. It's so he goes to the dark side. He traps Finn in the room.
Yeah, he traps Finn in the room. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll come back and bring you like a pan of dirt every now and then." I guess.
And we talked about this how he's clearly just like consoling himself. Like,
yeah, he has
like there's no way Finn is gonna survive being in this room for a whole month with no food and no water.
Yeah, so he's just saying,
and a pan of dirt.
I'll keep him alive. It's nice now.
But he's really not. He's just you just gotta get rid of him, and he can't like bring himself to like actually do like the killing, like literally stabbing him in the back.
Yeah.
And then they get into a fight. And then Finn weed whacks him to death.
Weed whacks him to death.
He kills him, basically. I mean, he's obviously gonna come back later because of the wizard. But
yeah, because of people are saying it's Uncle Gumbold.
Uncle Gumbold.
Yeah, related to PB in some way.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
He's pink and he's got like a big G.
He's got a big G.
So they're thinking,
big
it's Gumbold.
It's Gumbold. I'm not sure.
And he says, "You need yourself an uncle." And that's what he says.
Oh, yes. But not sure how he's going to be related to PB genetically, seeing as PB came out of the primordial
gum.
The primordial gum, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he weed whacks him to death, and it's
really sad for Finn too.
Yeah, Finn's just like, I just killed myself.
Well, yeah, and like before that, like when they're before he gets backstabbed.
Yeah.
He's like, Fern, it's really great to have like a friend. Yeah, a friend that like likes all the stuff that I like to do for once. Like nobody else likes to go adventuring in dungeons. Nobody really likes that but me. But now I have a cool friend to do that with.
So we're like brothers, or maybe even closer.
Yeah. And then
he's like,
yeah. And he's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna like study these carvings. Will you like go in there? He's like,
okay.
I'm like, oh.
And it's just like, yep.
Finn. Oh, Finn.
The first person who's like really on the same wavelength as him. Yeah. He's gotta literally murder him.
Yep. And he's like, poor Finn.
Poor Finn. And then like Beamo's just like, oh, I know that face. That means you've killed somebody. Which Beamo knows very well.
Beamo knows very well. He knows very well the face of death.
The face of death. She's also murdered a brother.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, poor Finn and poor Beamo.
Yeah.
Finn's arm is one of the things. Like with PB's little like message that he left for him was kind of adorable. I love that.
He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, because PB has sort of transitioned. She's pretty much Finn's mom now.
I mean, at this point.
Yeah.
Less of like a possible romantic interest and more of a maternal figure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is great.
Well, when she's being an adult, basically.
Yeah, when she's being
one of the many phases of PB, when she's like being an adult as opposed to a teenager.
Yeah. Which is fine.
Which is great, because it's adorable. I like it.
Yeah. And, not a plot hole. Not a plot hole because he's literally just like not known that the arm could do these things, which I thought was really funny.
And it's not like, if he had known about the arm being able to do this before, then there's nothing like that really.
Yeah, it's not like having a weed whacker would really have saved him during elements or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And it's all in character. Like, this is very much something that Finn would do. Like, not really. He would just be like, "Oh, cool, a
building
robot
like
arm."
these upgrades under the arm is very much something PB would do.
It's just like you can.
Why not?
It's a multi-tool. You can do all this stuff.
I like. There was like you can see like the list of things the thing can do, and if you look at that, it's like one of them's like scroll. Like, what is that? Do?
Scroll, man. We gotta see more of these functions.
Yeah.
They are gonna have to be careful now, because if there's ever a situation that Finn's like stuck somewhere, he can just pull out the rock drill.
Yeah. It's got to be a non-rock drillable solution, I guess.
Which isn't that hard, but there are a lot of situations in Adventure Time going back where if he had a rock drill, he would have been in a much better spot.
Yeah.
He didn't bring a sword, or even like his broken sword on that fight, on that adventure.
That is interesting. He didn't bring his weapon. I don't know.
Like his broken
Fin sword.
His broken Fin sword. His Fin sword is broken, but he has like used it before. If I remember.
No, wait. Fin sword became firm.
Yeah, it became firm, but it's the same sword, but now has like a big crack in the middle.
Well, yeah, but isn't like part of Fern now?
So the fin part became part of Fern, but I thought he still had like the broken sword.
No, he hasn't. He's been using like this little. He's been using Rattleball's sword.
Oh, really?
Since since
maybe I guess I'm misremembering that.
You misremembering? Yeah, I remember because ever since Islands, when he's been using like Rattleball's little rapier.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the sword he's had.
Rattleball's the jobber.
Rattleball's the jobber.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to talk about that episode.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe we'll do a different podcast
for those
where we like talk about islands and we talk about elements.
We'll deal with that later.
We'll just go backwards through the series.
We'll go all the way backwards till we're talking about season 1. Until we're talking about the pilot episode.
This is the worst way to do a podcast. Start near the end, but not at the end. But
you're forgetting we're the only podcast. So we can do whatever we want.
I guess we are the only one.
So
we are the one.
We are the only one. So it's all good.
No, we're not going to go backwards through the show. That would be a terrible idea.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Maybe.
But
maybe.
So it ends with Finn killing him, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, and it's like,
and then we get a little bit of a tease.
Like BMO's playing the shillelagh without a mouth.
The shillelagh.
Why did I think no, not
the
shillelagh.
The
vuvuzela. Sorry,
I am the vuvuzela smasher.
She's playing he's playing the vuvuzela without a mouth. I don't know how he's doing that. Which is
interesting.
Anyway.
Whatever, not a big deal.
And that's pretty much how it ends, with like the sort of tease at like, ooh, who's this new mysterious character?
What's he doing with this grass?
That is going to repair Fern. And I'm imagining now in the future, if Uncle Gumbold is related to PB, it's going to be a sort of like PB and Fern versus PB and Finn versus Gumbold and Fern, basically, is what it's going to amount to. It's going to be, and it's like, the greatest anime battle of 2017.
Yeah, exactly, top 10. And, so I'm interested to see where he's going with this Gumbold thing. Like,
yeah, that's really...
Assuming it is Gumbold, obviously.
I mean, yeah.
Which, I mean, is...
He's pink.
He is pink. It seems pretty clear, but you never know.
You never know, I guess. It could be just some dude.
It could just be some guy who likes wearing a big G. Maybe his name's like Terrence, and he just likes the G. But, it's, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? Is he gonna, like, recreate Fern as, like, something else? Or is he just gonna, take, like, the little, like, spider octopus thing and, like, put it in something else?
Yeah.
I wonder, is, like, other Finn, like, that we saw inside of Fern, like, Tiny Finn, who's getting controlled by the octopus, is he dead? And, like, only the octopus remains? Or... we'll have to wait and see.
I feel bad for Fern despite his evil deeds.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel bad for Fern, I feel bad for Finn, I feel bad for everyone involved.
Yeah. Fun times. So that's the newest batch.
That's the stale July batch of episodes.
Right. I mean, it's less like we're digging into like fresh meat and more like we're trying to get rid of this meat before it like before the smell gets too bad.
For it's not meat, it's like a batch of cookies. I like it's a fresh batch that we're getting in the 17th, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
17th.
And like the old ones are just like some stale ones that were
We have to get through them now.
Despite
or
how
else
well,
we won't have room for the new one.
No matter how well crafted your cookie is, it's still, like a month old.
This analogy needs to die quickly.
Right. Just like this first ever podcast.
Yeah.
We gotta
the first ever of the only.
The only Adventure Time podcast.
We'll just call it
exists.
the only Adventure Time podcast.
Exactly.
It's a great name. We'll think of the name and branding later. It'll be great. We'll just have we'll have to draw some OCs or something.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll draw our Adventure Time OCs.
Yeah, how does that even work?
I mean, you can make an event just some dude.
Just a guy.
Just hi.
No.
You'll just be
we
one
will
of...
not do that.
My Adventure Time OC is just one of the random faceless humans that was in islands. I'm just one of those guys who stayed on the island because I was like, it's nice here. That's me.
It's pretty intense.
I'm sure you can find
We're not going to do that, don't worry. It's not going to happen.
It'd be pretty funny, though.
No. It's only funny if we joke about it. It's not funny if it happens. Alright, but that's the end of our... How long have we been going? We've been going about 50 minutes.
Not bad.
It's pretty good length. For
about 10 minutes per episode. Pretty good pace there.
Pretty good, yeah.
All right,
and they're really good episodes, and wrapping up.
Wrapping up the whole series at this point. I mean, every episode's like an almost last episode. When you've got something this big.
But, nothing gold can stay.
Nothing gold can stay.
Has to die eventually, or... Oh, well, seeing as this is Cartoon Network, they're gonna, reboot it in, 10 years.
Well, imagine 10 years from now when they're just Adventure Time, Reloaded, and it's Finn's son or something.
Finn's son.
And he's half made out of fire because he did it with Flame Princess. That would be pretty funny.
That would be weird.
And it's I'm not sure who his companion would be. Jake's gonna be really old by that point.
Here's something I want to see. I want to see Jake's kids interacting with Finn.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, I guess that they're sort of all adults now. It doesn't make quite as much
they
sense.
They all age really fast.
I was thinking when they first introduced Jake's kids, it would be really cool if one of them hung out with Finn or something. But they're all sort of adults now. Maybe Bronwyn can hang out with Finn.
Bronwyn.
All right. This is dragged out long enough.
Bronwyn's the best.
Thank you all for listening to the only Adventure Time podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Bronwyn Fancast.
Bronwyn Fancast.
This is the podcast where we talk about Bronwyn and how much we like Bronwyn. None of the other episodes I actually hate Adventure Time except for Bronwyn.
Except for Bronwyn. The only good episode.
Exactly.
That's not even the name of the episode.
Nope. Doesn't matter.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. Praise Bronwyn.